There's a hand most $1, $3 players lose every single time. Pocket queens. River jam, solver says call. You're going to learn why that call is a trap and how to see it before it costs you. You're on the button, 4 hours into a $1, $3 session. The player in the big blind is the local nit. Tight, passive, hasn't shown a bluff all night. Early position limps for 3. You look down at pocket queens and raise to 15. The nit calls from the big blind. Limper folds. Pot is $34. Flop comes King-Seven-Deuce-Rainbow. He checks. You see bet 20 into 34. He calls. Pot is $74. Turn is an offsuit 3. He checks again. You bet 45. He calls again. Pot is now $164. Now it's time to pay attention. River is the 9 of clubs, blank. You check back, keeping the pot controlled. And he comes out jamming, $280 into a $164 pot. Your solver runs the numbers, pot odds, range equity, and it says, call. This is where most players lose $280. Here's the problem. Solvers assume your opponent plays a balanced range, that he's bluffing here at the right frequency to make your call profitable. This player has not bluffed once tonight. He is not balanced. He is a nit. Walk his line backward. He called pre-flop out of position, called the flop on a king-high board, called the turn. And now he's jamming the river after you checked. What hands does that line make sense with? King X that flop top pair and slow played to the river, a set of sevens or deuces, maybe King-7-2 pair. What's he bluffing with on a King-7-Deuce-Three-Nine rainbow? Almost nothing got there, and even if it did, does this player jam 280 as a bluff? That's exactly the question RangeIQ answers. You set the opponent type, and the engine recalculates your equity against his actual range, not the theoretical one, the real one. Against a balanced range, queens have enough equity to call. The pot odds are there. That's the default answer. Against this opponent's river jamming range on this board, weighted toward King X, sets, and 2 pair, you are behind the majority of his value hands. RangeIQ flags it as an exploit fold. That's the entire point. GTO is a defensive strategy. It makes you unexploitable. But at $1 to $3, your opponents are not trying to exploit you. They're just playing their cards. So stop defending against attacks that aren't coming and start exploiting the tendencies that are right in front of you. 3 things to take from this hand. 1. Identify these opponent types before the session starts. Every $1, $3 game has 1 or 2. Label them. RangeIQ uses the same profiles. 2. When this type of player takes a passive line and then jams the river on a dry board, his range is almost always a made hand. Treat it that way and price yourself accordingly. 3. Use RangeIQ in study, not just in session. Run the spot after the fact. See what the engine shows. Over time, your reads on opponent ranges get calibrated, and the live decisions get faster and more automatic. Pocket queens felt like a mandatory call. It wasn't. RangeIQ showed the exploit, and the exploit was the fold. If you want to run your own spots against specific opponent types, RangeIQ is free to try. No credit card. RangeIQpoker.com. Subscribe for the next breakdown. We're going the other direction. The maniac who never folds. RangeIQ is the exploit.